welcome to another unboxing video from theplayersaid.com. My name's Alexander, and today we're taking a look at not a new game. This game's a couple of years old, but it is very new to me. I only just came across this a while back. And it's called Ships of the Line Trafalgar 1805. As you can tell, this is a Spanish company. I'm not going to try and pronounce that. So it's by Trafalgar Editions, Games and Books. Like I said, Spanish company. This is a bilingual game. You can purchase it with the English rule set or the original Spanish rule set. This game is in a fairly small, innocuous box, but it is chock full. The lid barely fits on, and you can hear there's a whole bunch of goodies in here. What's exciting about this is it has a ton of little miniature ships of the line, little plastic miniatures, and you play like the whole Battle of Trafalgar, so you get like 50 ships. It's very, very cool looking. Now it's a complexity medium. Game multiplayer's low to medium. So this is, you can play it solo very, very easily. I don't think there's any hidden information in this one really. And you could play it with 3 players if you divided up the French and Spanish, but frankly, this is a 2-player game, honestly. There's rules to kind of split them up, but this is 2 players for me. So what we'll do is we'll crack this open. Whoops! Oh, my stuff's spilling out. Okay. Alright. So the first thing we have here, this is an example of play. I've actually read through this, spoiler alert. So this, again, this is the English version. So it's got literal photographs from a setup game, and it walks you through how to conduct a mini game. So they set up like 4 ships on each side. You kind of do some hypothetical scenarios, moving around, navigating, shooting each other. The pictures are mostly okay and clear, but frankly, having read through what is 10 pages of rules of just an example play, I'm very comfortable with the sequence of play and what a game should look like. So this is actually a very helpful document. Here we have, these are the normal rules. So the normal rules come in this stapled pamphlet. So it's 33 odd pages, but this is like OOBs back here and setup and things like that. Then there are advanced rules. So if you want to really notch this up, you can do that. That's what all these are, advanced rules. So really it's 18 odd pages of normal deep rules. Well, that's just a contents page. So really you're looking at like 14 pages of rules. Now there are diagrams and things like that, and some charts and tables. Not a ton of illustrations and pictures, but like I said, that's what this is for, and this was very, very helpful. I would recommend blow through this so you have a gauge of what this game is, and then read the rules. I only recommend that because that's what I've done, and I feel very comfortable with how this game plays. We have here some different kind of play aids and bits of card, so we're going to take a look at everything here. Alright. So this is Ships of the Line tables. We have a combat table, critical damage table, boarding table, mooring, surrender and sinking, collision table, drive the flag table. Most of this is a really cool kind of a script. You got to squint a little bit sometimes the first time you read it, just to make sure that you're reading it correctly, just because it isn't all the script. It's neat that they've done that. And then this is the Spanish version. It's exactly the same, but everything's in Spanish. So everything's, like I said, bilingual. So we'll get to these in a second, because these are basically your ship cards of all the different ship types. So we'll take a look at those here in just a bit. So here we have this one here, Ship of the Line turns. So you have a turn track that you'll go through, different British divisions and Allied divisions, and how many ships have been sunk, all that kind of stuff. So this is just a play card that you'll have out, again, single-sided. So let's take a look at all these. These are, put those here in just a second. These are data cards for all the different ships and ship types. And again, you've got that same script, so it tells you here, this is HMS Berwick, and it tells you, I believe, This is the name of the captain. Tells you the size of the ship, and this is its effective fire values, crew values, and hit points, so to speak. There's a whole bunch of these. I believe, I want to say these are, because they're all just names, so I think, names and symbols, I'm pretty sure, yeah, so it says like rear guard, these are vanguard, up here, or second division, first division, second division, so it tells you a bit about them. These are all, there's only one copy of these aren't bilingual because it's just a bunch of symbols basically. We've got Royal Navy ships here as well. So this is like the last spare one that they just put on this. So we have here a bunch of stickers, and these are stickers. And if you kind of look here, they've got numbers on what would be, you fold them over. So you've got a 14 on each side of a Spanish flag. Same here, you've got a 21 on each side of a French flag. And a 7 on each side of Royal Navy ensign. I should call them ensigns, but... So all of these will go kind of hanging off the back of the boats, so you can identify what's what. And each of them corresponds to a very specific ship with specific stats. So you'll have all these ships out, and it's just reference what's what. Nice and easy. We have 1, 2, 3 counter sheets. And as you might imagine in a game like this, where you have plastic miniatures, the counters are a lot of status markers, different bits and pieces. So you've got ball shot, grape shot, or canister, I think they might call it. Let's see, do they have chain shot tokens? Yep, so you got chain shot here. Looks like you got some fire shot, different sail markers as well. Some different maneuvers, it looks like. Looks like this is when you rake a ship, giving them a broadside up the bow or the stern of the ship. Crew members dying. Bunch of different markers here for movement. A lot of status stuff. These are quite small, these are pre-rounded, and they punch fairly easily, just punching those out. Not bad. And this is a firing template. Put this up against the edge of a ship. Boom! This is their kind of field of fire, their firing arc. And then we have on here some... These are direction and movement markers that you'll use throughout the game. And then we have here some various admirals. You got Lord Admiral Nelson over here. You got the Spanish admirals and the French ones as well. Those are pretty cool. If you look really closely, you have like a historical photo on there. When this punched out, that's pretty neat looking. Is it the most centered thing in the whole world? No, but this game isn't about the counters. Yes. Okay. The rest of this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 really thick cardboard sea tiles. These are all just plain sea tiles. This one's got your little wind dial on there. And so a lot of these big sea games, you have some big cloth, blue cloth or something like that. I actually really like this because, I don't know, this packs away nicely in a box and it's nice and simple. And I guess as the game gets smaller, if you end up on this side, you can kind of pack half of it away, save yourself some space. So there's a whole bunch of it. So this is 6 tiles, you have 3 more, and then another 1. You get a whole bunch of D6s. Always like to see a game that provides you enough dice. And now the real fun stuff. So you get a huge bag of ships, and obviously the colors represent the different nations. These remind me of a lot of kind of the Euro style games like Kemet or what do you call it? Cyclades. So you get this really neat ship of the line. This is just the hull. And you can see there's these spots here for pegs, and that's where the sails go in. So you have all the red ones for the Royal Navy, blue ones for the French Navy, and the yellow ones for the Spanish. And here's the fun stuff. Okay, here's the sails. You get 3 sails on a sprue, and so you're going to need to cut these out. I don't know, I'm not going to risk it. Yeah, you're going to need to cut these. What I'll do is I'll just get my little hobby cutters, which are in the other room, and we'll kind of show you that. So these are my Xuron sprue cutters. These are a 10 out of 10 purchase if you are any kind of modeler or miniature builder. These cut sprues so well, way easier than doing it with a hobby knife. There's a lot of fights on the internet about what's better, Xuron or I think Tamiya makes some, but I like these ones. So all I'm going to do is just clip these from the sprue, and then we'll just put them into the boats. Now the nice thing is yeah, I got to clip these out, but I don't. Sorry, let me do it on here. So we're just going to clip those. You don't do any gluing on these. It's important that you don't do that. And those fit in these really well. I can turn that upside down and shake it. It's not going anywhere. I'm going to do a couple more on these. So each ship, I think each ship has 3 sails. And I think they're sized, I don't know if they're differently sized, but we'll pop all of these in so that we can see what it looks like. So yeah, there's a little bit of initial kind of a setup, but you don't need to do it once, is what I'm saying. Okay, we're gonna have to cut. I left a little nib on these. Oop. Okay, these are going in nicely. That one's a bit on the loose side. Kind of shove it in there. Interesting. Might be fudging with that, but either way, you put all these in, and so you got your nice little sailboat basically. And what happens is if you get hit by a chain shot, you literally remove these and they kind of fall over. So it's important you don't glue them in, because then you've got to have your crew clear this off and cut the mast free so you can continue sailing and battling, or terrible things might happen, or if you lose all your masts, you're dead in the water, that kind of thing. So you do get a cool little layer of detail. I've been playing around with these. I wonder how many, if they gave you any spares just in case some of them don't fit well, but just a fun, really tactile, cool looking game, and that's a big part of what attracted me to it, is that it looks dope. Because you literally set up this huge line of Royal Naval ships, and it's obviously going to intersect a line of French and Spanish armada, and you just smash through the center of it, and the game sets you up for Trafalgar in that way, and you just kind of go for it. So this is an exciting game for me. I'm very, very interested in this. I've not played a game about Trafalgar. Frankly, not played hardly any Age of Sail games like this, in it that were particularly detailed. So I'm excited for this. I see when you go to places like Gen Con or any big war game conventions, there's these huge tables with like really big, nice wooden models, and they're playing these miniature war games with them. And I've always wanted to do that, but I don't really have the space for that, so having this in this is a normal sized board game box, how that all condenses down is very, very cool and exciting for me, so that I can get that same feel in a board game box. So this does come all the way from Europe if you order it. So that's, takes a little bit to get there, but a very exciting game that I cannot wait to get played. And I'm going to force Grant to do this one if he wants to or not. So, appreciate you guys tuning in. This has been Ships of the Line Trafalgar 1805 from Trafalgar Edition Games and Books. A very exciting game that I can't wait to get my teeth into. So, appreciate you guys tuning in. And I've been Alexander from theplayersaid.com.